WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury has agreed to fight former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou in a professional boxing match. This heavyweight battle for the ages will be held in Saudi Arabia Saturday, October the 28th. Fury holds a 33-0-1 record as a boxer. Ngannou has no previous boxing experience and hasn't fought professionally since leaving the UFC in January of 2022. Here is the tale of the tape. Fury, the edge and experience, 14 more fights under his belt. Also has the 5-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. Ngannou had surgery in March to repair his ACL and MCL. He's currently signed with the Professional Fighters League, but is yet to make his debut. Fury's last bout was December 3rd in a successful WBC heavyweight title defense. And you know what that music means? It's time for me to get up from this seat and walk over to that seat, because there's someone waiting for me in the chat set here in the expansive Studio 9. It's my friend, Aaron Bronsteter. Oh, Aaron, it's great to see you.
It's been a minute since I've been in the studio.
I know, it's been a while. It's great to have you here, buddy. This is very interesting, very interesting. And I was talking to you before we started this, and I said I remember the Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather fight back in 2017, and I remember Conor did pretty well in that fight. Do you think Francis Ngannou can fare better than Conor did against Tyson Fury?
All right, so here is the measuring stick, because Conor McGregor won the first round on all 3 judges' scorecards, and then on one other judge's scorecard, won rounds 2 and 3.
Right.
So we need 4 total scorecards for Francis Ngannou over the course of this fight. And I think that's a lot of heavy lifting for Francis. If we're talking about the best heavyweight boxer in the world today.
Yeah.
But the difference here is, Floyd was 40 years old. That was the last professional fight of his career against an 0-0 Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's in his prime right now. He's faced the baddest men on the planet in the squared circle. The baddest man on the planet is typically, at least in the combat sports world, in my opinion, the heavyweight champion of mixed martial arts.
Right.
Which Francis Ngannou was. He never lost that title in the UFC. He left in free agency to, as you mentioned, off the top, the PFL, and now into the world of boxing.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a really tall order for Francis Ngannou to get a knockdown, knockout, even win rounds against somebody as technically sound as Tyson Fury. I like the hope that he can do it, but I think it's, again, a pretty tall order.
I guess people might wonder, what is money the only reason you would possibly do this? Because I know money is the reason he left the UFC. What does he have to prove in boxing? He's still got a lot of MMA to fight it.
Well, this is a pretty long backstory, but I'll give you the gist of it. He was working in the sand mines in Cameroon, and his goal was to move to America and become a pro boxer. So he actually had to go through all of these different countries to try to get out of Cameroon to France. His goal was to get to France. He was stopped on multiple occasions, was in the Sahara in the back of a Toyota pickup truck. It was 140 degrees during the day. It was 20 degrees at night. This is Fahrenheit. I'm sorry for the viewers. I read the story today, and I don't know how to do the conversion that quickly on the fly. But very, very hot during the day.
It was hot.
Cold
that was
at
the
night.
important thing.
And all of these trials and tribulations to get to Paris so that he could become a boxer. He goes into a gym, and that's where he learns about mixed martial arts. And they said, you're going to be a great mixed martial artist one day. But his dream was always to do boxing, and now he's able to do his dream on the absolute biggest stage against the best heavyweight in the world.
Okay, I like that. Good backstory there. Deontay Wilder, maybe the hardest hitter in boxing. Francis Ngannou, maybe the hardest hitter in MMA. So Tyson Fury has taken Wilder's best shot and survived. Is the power comparable between Wilder and Ngannou?
I would say it is comparable, but I also think that when you look at Wilder, it's with the boxing gloves. However, Ngannou is a lot bigger than Wilder. Wilder, I believe, is in the 220 area code, whereas Francis Ngannou is 255, 260. Right. So who hits harder with boxing gloves? Probably Deontay Wilder, but I don't really know the answer to that. And also, power also has something to do with precision. Where's he landing? Is he landing on the chin? Is he landing on the neck? Is he landing to the temple? All of those are factors as to whether or not you can drop somebody. But Francis Ngannou definitely has the power to put Tyson Fury down if he lands a picture-perfect punch.
Now let's talk about the fact that this is a spectacle fight, right? This is a spectacle fight. An MMA fighter, a pro boxer. We know about the Jake Paul fights. They're so popular. The ultimate fight might be coming in terms of spectacle fights. It's the battle of the billionaires. It's Mark Zuckerberg and it's Elon Musk. And look at this picture, Aaron Bronsteter. Zuckerberg looking pretty shredded, training with UFC champions Israel Adesanya and Alexander Volkanovski. You talked to Dana White last week. He said this fight was going to happen within the UFC. But what does it say about the state of combat sports that this might be the biggest fight out there right now?
Well, I think it has more to do with the state of the human psyche and human interest, right? I mean, we're going to see two guys that have never fought, that are tech billionaires, get into a cage and fight each other. I mean, that's kind of interesting. And I don't think that it necessarily appeals to the combat sports audience specifically. It appeals to everybody.
Right.
I mean, if you tell somebody, hey, we're going to get the guy who runs Facebook and Instagram and now Threads. I see that you're new to Threads.
Sure, yeah, I love Threads.
Against the owner of Twitter and Tesla. It's going to pique the interest of everybody, right?
I understand that, but my question is more, is that a problem for MMA, for boxing, that this is the thing that people are most interested in? They're not necessarily interested in pro boxers and MMA fighters as much as two billionaires who are out there training for a couple of months?
Probably puts more eyes on the sport, if anything, so I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing. It is, I mean, silly.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of silliness involved in that. I don't think that the NBA would put like Tiger Woods on a team to see how it goes and let's see what this is like.
Right.
Or put together a 5-on-5 tournament of a bunch of like tech billionaires against maybe a celebrity all-star game on the weekend.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Take some notes if you're NBA Canada, you're watching this.
Let Adam Silver know.
But that's what combat sports has often done before, and that's kind of what Francis Ngannou versus Fury is. What would happen?
Right.
What would happen if you have the best heavyweight from mixed martial arts against the best heavyweight from boxing? Same with McGregor versus Mayweather back in the day.
Yep.
And even now with Nate Diaz against Jake Paul, who's become a decent boxer, all things considered. Nate Diaz coming over from the mixed martial arts world. We've already seen him beat 2 or 3 mixed martial artists. Can he do it to another one? A guy who has a bigger name, who's fought the likes of Conor McGregor. So all of that is about trying to pull in as many people as possible. And I think that if you're going to take Elon Musk against Mark Zuckerberg, I don't think there's any combat sports matchup you can make on the planet right now that's going to do more eyeballs than that. I mean, if you did like The Rock against Brad Pitt in a boxing match, like maybe that does more. But in terms of 2 combat sports athletes, I don't think that you can get those kind of numbers.
Right. Or maybe Trump against literally anyone. Now, do you think this Zuckerberg-Musk fight will actually happen? I know Dana said it would, but do you truly believe him?
Well, I mentioned to him there are hurdles.
Right.
You know, is it an exhibition? Is there a weight class involved? You know, who's going to sanction this? And he just basically said, well, someone's going to sanction it because we're talking about $1 billion event.
Yeah.
And when you say $1 billion event, you know, a lot of people were like, why didn't you challenge him on that? It's like, well, $1 billion event can mean a lot of things. I don't think it means $1 billion gate. But if you're talking about the commissions like I was, you're talking about the state.
Yeah.
So if you're the state of Nevada, could that be $1 billion event in terms of tourism, in terms of the economy and how much people are going to spend in that state? Possibly. I mean, listen, I'm not an economist. I don't know those numbers, but it doesn't sound outlandish to me that it could do that kind of money overall as a whole for the state.
But Nevada, I mean, they have such scruples. You know, our friends at FanDuel, Aaron Bronsteter, list this potential fight between Musk and Zuckerberg under the novelty bet section of the app. So if you're a fan of FanDuel, go to the novelty bet section. Zuckerberg is currently a massive favorite. Do you agree with that?
I don't.
No. Okay.
No,
why?
Elon Musk is a lot bigger than he is.
He is a big boy. And it's like you were saying to Dana, though, the weight class issue is actually something they have to figure out.
Right. Because if you look at the picture that you showed before with Israel and Volkanovski, and you have Zuckerberg in the middle there. Volkanovski's about my height, 5'8", 5'9". Adesanya's about 6'3".
Yeah.
So he was somewhere in the middle there, 5'10". Elon Musk is like 6'2" and 200 and change, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get really big plus money on either of these guys, it's a fight between 2 guys that don't have any real requisite knowledge of the sport. These are guys that just train for fun, for laughs.
Now
right?
you've got me excited about it.
I mean, yeah, if you can get a guy as a big underdog in that situation, you should take the underdog. I mean, that would be my advice.
Okay, Aaron Bronsteter says take Musk in the fight, and it's going to happen. Buddy, it was great seeing you. Thanks for coming in today.
Pleasure catching up with you, Jay.